So how did your professional career take off after this? I mean, what was it like till 2012 when you actually won the Panasonic Open? We'll come to that, but
See, it was going good from 99 till 2006. I'd won decent number of tournaments. I'd finished second on the order of merit, and not playing full time on the tour, I'd finished second on the order of merit also. I mean, I started playing on the Asian tour. Started playing on the Asian tour since 2000, all the way till 2015. So 15 years I played there, and I personally feel I was a far freer player earlier. You know, I would freewheel the club, as they call it. I've become far more cautious today. I don't know why. I'm still trying to fight it, even at this age, even at this stage in my career. But I think that's exactly what I tell everybody. Be free in your mind. Don't attach any. There's nothing more important than, or nothing more pleasurable than being out on the golf course and enjoying the game more than anything else. Everything else follows. Everything else is a result of what you do there. So the moment you start attaching importance to a particular shot, or start attaching importance to a tournament, that, you know, oh, this is the Indian Open, I better sleep 8 hours and I better do this and I better do that. No, just keep doing what you do every single day. If you feel like, you know, in fact, Jyoti actually told me this. He says, if you feel like sitting and watching TV, watch TV, Diggy. Don't force yourself to sleep, because you won't be able to sleep also, because you're forcing yourself to sleep. So I think that's a very good education, I would say, that that came my way. And so whenever I've won, I remember I've cared less. You know, I think the term would be being carelessly careful, rather than
that's a nice term.
Rather than being carefully careful. You know, so carelessly careful. Yeah.
So coming to the Panasonic Open week, take us through that week, and it's a very special week. So how did it roll out?
Frankly, there were a couple of things happening that week. I finished on the 2nd of April, I think, or 3rd of April, probably, the tournament finished. And at the same time, I'd started shooting. And the national championship was on here in Gurgaon at the CRPF range. That's where the Commonwealth Games happened. The shooting championship in the Commonwealth Games. There's a 900-meter event. That's what happened there. And so I was playing. I mean, I would play a practice round at Delhi Golf Club and come back and run to the range here in Gurgaon, shoot, practice for the event, then go back again. Then, you know, so I was doing a little bit of. I wanted the shooting bad, and
back and forth,
literally. So I wanted to really become a renowned shooter. You know, the renowned shooter is. I wanted to actually import a weapon for myself, and buying a good imported weapon in India at that time was way out of my reach. It was too expensive to buy one, and I really wanted to import one because I wanted to shoot. I've always been very enamored and been smitten by shooting. Dad coming from the army, I would always go down to the range and sit there and watch these guys shoot. And so I was this place called Kadarpur. That's where the CRPF range is. So I was shunting between Delhi Golf Club and Kadarpur, and Delhi Golf Club and Kadarpur. So early morning, I would go down to the golf course in DC. Remember the Monday of the week. I was at the golf course at 5:30. I quickly played my 9 holes and came back. Went straight to the range. Did not hit a single ball there. Did not practice. Went straight to the range. Shot there. Went back to the golf course in Delhi.
The shooting range. Yeah.
Not the Delhi shooting range, but the shooting range here in Gurgaon.
I know.
So I went 40 kilometers, came back 40 kilometers, then went back again to Delhi Golf Club to practice. Then came back home. And then I did the same thing on Tuesday. Exactly the same thing on Tuesday. Went early morning to the golf course, played 9. So front 9 the first day, back 9 on Tuesday. And then I came back again and I practiced shooting again. And Wednesday was the Pro-Am. So I opted out of the Pro-Am because I was supposed to play so I'd requested that I would like to shoot on Wednesday because Thursday onward my tournament starts. So they've given me a slot to shoot on Wednesday. And I remember I can relive that moment whenever I want. because everything is etched in my memory. I still remember. So there was a score which is 475 out of 600. So you get 60 shots. Each shot carries 10 points maximum, and so the average is 8 6 are 48. So roughly about 7.9 is what you need to average to qualify. 475 was the qualifying mark. I was shooting all right. After 55 shots had gone, now my see, that's exactly how that's how the human mind works. Rather than thinking about shooting, I was thinking about qualifying.
Okay.
Now that's something I never did when I played golf. I would never think about saving up, making a par. You'd stand there, you just hit shot number 1, then shot number 2, and shot number 3 and 4, and whatever, so on and so forth. Birdie or not is a result, right? Or a bogey is a result of what you do now. So here,
exactly.
I was trying to score. I wanted it so bad that I was trying to score. So it so happened that my 56th shot, I was doing all right till then, and I needed 38 points in my last 5 shots.
Okay.
Right. So that would be about an average of 8, right? 7.5 or whatever. 7 5s are 35. Yeah. So I needed 38. And now I'd already started thinking in my mind, with those five bullets remaining, that what rifle am I going to import? What will it look like? How am I going to hold it? So when you get ahead of yourself, all that goes in your mind. And so while thinking, I was bringing the rifle up to the target, and I don't know what happened and when the trigger just went off. And there's a small screen on the right, and I looked into the screen. I hit 0. So now, all of a sudden, my world is crashing around me. I started thinking to myself, "What bloody? You were thinking about importing a weapon? What, you idiot! What are you doing? You're supposed to." So, now all sorts of thoughts are crossing my mind, and then I got up. I said, "To hell with it." I had a couple of swigs of water and got down again to shoot. And I said, "Now it's over, right? So you're not going to score the minimum qualifying mark, which is 475. I said, you're not going to score that. So you might as well give it your best now." So I remember I got the rifle back onto the target, and I saw it through the peep and fired, got a 10. Then fired the next shot, got a 10 again. So I've got still 18 points to go, and exact to make it a total of 475. So I mean, far more experienced shooters who would come there would not even think about 475. They would think about 560, 570, 575. Those are the scores that they were looking at. But my first experience, my biggest hurdle was to pass that 475 mark or reach the 475 mark. So I fired the next one, got a 9. So I've got 9 more to go now. Exact 9 is what I need. I was at 466 that time. And Ashwin, I remember till now, I only have a very hazy picture in my mind. And I remember when I got the rifle up onto the target, I remember that the target was very hazy for me. And I don't remember when I pulled the trigger. I don't remember when I pulled the trigger. And when I pulled the trigger, because there's a monitor on your right, there's a screen on your right which tells you exactly where you've hit it, and what you've scored. So when I fired, I didn't look at I didn't look at the monitor. I just kept my head down, and I took a couple of long breaths. I still did not look at the monitor. I laid my rifle down. I took the bolt off, and I took my gloves off, took my jacket off, and I looked at the thing, and it hit a 9. So it's bang on 475. And I tell you, I was on that bench, and I sprang up like this, like a springbuck, like that. So there were quite a few people, and I was like, yeah, So there were a lot of people around me who thought, oh, this guy's probably shot the gold or something. They thought I shot 575 or 580 or something. They said, somebody walked up to me and said, "Kya mara?" I said, 475. He looks at me, 475. He says, I said, yeah. I said, क्यों? बोला नहीं, हमने सोचा आपने कोई record बनाया. I said, record तो बना है. What are you talking about? Record बना दिया. I said, this is a bloody record. It's a record for me. Depends on how you look at it. So that week, and because of that, that the way I shot there, those last 4 shots, and I qualified, I think fed into my game also. I was so high with confidence and was beaming with confidence. And from there, I went back to the golf course. I mean, not back to the golf course. That was my first visit to the golf course that day. On Wednesday afternoon, I reached, and I was happy, and I was practicing. And I remember I was on the range for good 2.5, 3 hours. I just kept hitting balls. I was so happy. I didn't realize कि फिर suddenly थोड़ा शाम हो गई. I said, यार, better go back. अभी तो traffic में फंस जाएंगे. Getting back to Gurgaon. So I very vividly remember what happened that day. It was fantastic. Wow. And then it fed into the tournament, I think, because I remember I became far more relaxed playing the tournament after having qualified and become a renowned shooter. So wow, it was a great feeling. Absolutely, yeah.
So how did the tournament pan out?
When I say along with my coach Preetam Saikia, we had worked on basically on the rhythm. He says, Diggy, I just want you to think one word when you swing that club on every single shot: rhythm, 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 and rhythm. That's it. Because Delhi Golf Club, the moment you lose your rhythm, the bushes are standing there and
waiting to gobble you up.
They're waiting to chew you up. So, and I remember, I think the turnaround in that tournament for me was the 3rd round. It was quite windy that day. I think I shot a 68, and a couple of 68s came that day, not too many. But 68 was the best round that day. It was quite windy. I remember on 2 occasions where I saved impossible pars, and thanks to some really sound advice from my caddy Dharmender. I remember it was the 4th hole when we just started. It was the 3rd hole and the 4th hole. So the 3rd hole, I hit my teed off with my 2-iron. I hit it in the left jungle, and I chipped it out from there to about 130 yards. From there, I hit my pitching wedge to about 3 feet, and I hold it. One hell of a par that was. Followed by the very next hole, 4th, I hit my tee shot. Because on the 3rd you hit it on the left, you're a little, you're a little scared of the left, and you don't want to go left. So I blocked it off to the right. And I was stuck in a situation where I could not advance the ball towards the hole. I had to play it backwards into the fairway. So I played it backwards, and it's 210 yards to the flag. Hit my 4-iron to about 10, 12 feet right of the hole, and I hold that. So those 2 pars in the back-to-back 3rd and 4th, I think were absolutely crucial that week in that win. And it also happened on the 2nd day where I had hit the rough, hit not the bushes exactly, but hit it in the rough on the 8th hole as well. And my caddy says, Bhaiya, there is no point in trying a fancy shot. Let's just play it backwards. We'll walk away with a bogey. If we get a par, fine, but otherwise we'll just take a bogey and go. And luckily made a par again. So those couple of those saves, I think, were key to that to the win that week. So a very funny incident happened. Not funny. I mean, a peculiar incident that happened on the last day. I got out of my house, and I was early morning. I was on my way to Delhi, and there's this place now, the metro station at Huda City Center. Earlier there was no metro station, but that's the area. This cyclist came out of nowhere, right in front of my car, and I almost hit him. I tell you, I mean, I braked so hard, and then he tried to run away. I caught him, and I wanted to give him 2 slaps on his face, but then I thought to myself, yeah, Diggy, calm down. This guy's alive. You haven't run him over. This, all is well that ends well. And so I remember still when I got to the golf course, I was, I was quicker with my rhythm. I was, because something like that has just happened. Your heart is really pumping hard, and I nearly killed the guy. So my caddy says, "Bhaiya, rhythm, rhythm." So cooled down and started playing, and well, things fell into place. That was the best round of the week for me.
At what stage had you already won the tournament, or did you win it on the 18th
I
hole?
won't say see, of course, no tournament is over till it's over. So only when you walk off the 72nd hole can you actually say that I've won, because that's the nature of the sport. So, but I came into the reckoning after I birdied the 13th. Actually, I was a shot behind when I birdied the 13th, and luckily I birdied the 14th. I missed a small one on the 15th, but I finally took lead on that birdie after the birdie on the 16th hole. Hit a good tee shot. I just wanted to stay left of. There's a tree in the middle of the fairway on the 16th. I said, no matter what you do, no matter even if you hit it in the left jungle is fine, but you have to stay left of that tree, because anywhere right of the tree you don't have a shot. You're only chipping it out into the fairway and you're literally staring into a bogey. So I did all right. I stayed left of the flag, but my second shot that I hit there wasn't a good shot, although it resulted well. I mean, resulted far better than what I expected it to. Thinned a 5-iron, and luckily it pitched on the green and rolled up to about 10 odd feet, 12 feet from the hole, and I holed it.
Okay.
So that's when I was. I think that's when I was in slightly. I had a slight upper hand over the field. So that I think was the turning point.
And what was the winning shot?
So
I mean, what did you do? Did you jump up again like you did at the shooting range?
No, in fact, I didn't. But see, that's what confidence is all about. So I parred the 17th. I did not try any heroics. I just played to the middle of the green, made 2 putts, and got out there. 18th hole, I told my caddy, I said, listen, we've been swinging the club well. We are already 1 shot ahead. There's no point in trying to make anything special. I don't want anything special. I said, 5 is what I want. If I get a 4, that's a bonus. And he completely agreed. So I hit a 3-iron off the tee. You've seen the 18th hole at Delhi Golf Club. It's a bit of a narrow tee shot, but it broadens out where at around the landing area. So I hit a 3-iron, hit a 6-iron to the middle of the fairway, and I remember the flag was about 18 yards inside and about 6-7 yards from the left. I wanted to hit my sandwich below the hole to give myself a more of a like an uphill putt, a more realistic chance of making a birdie. But there was a lot of adrenaline flowing inside, and instead of keeping it short, I hit it about 4 odd yards over the flag. So I had a 12, 13 footer coming down, and so that part of the green has always been a little. I've always been perplexed checking out the line on that side of the that part of the green. It always tends to turn a little more than what you see, because the grain is all left to right if you look at it from the tee. And because I was past the flag, for me it was right to left. So I spoke to my caddy. I said, how far out do you think it is? So he says, he said, bhaiya, firm putt nahi marna hai. I said, bilkul nahi marna hai, because it's downhill. We don't want to, all you want to do is you want to take a chance at the hole, but still lag it up to the hole. You don't want to charge it too far. You don't want to, when you have to use it. Then that's another saying that one goes by. So I think I took it about a hole right of the about 3.5, 4 inches right of the hole, and the moment I hit it, I knew that I've hit a good putt. And then when I looked at the ball, I saw it's going online, and you can tell by the speed that it is traveling at, that it is tracking and it is going to go in the hole. And you might have seen it in a couple of pictures. Somebody's done a very good job with the pictures. So when the ball was about 3 feet short of the hole, I had already thrown my putter in the air, and I'd walked towards my caddy to hug him, because I knew that ball is in the hole. And so there's a photograph somebody's taken. My putter is almost on the ground, and the ball is still not in the hole. The ball is still that far out. So when I hug him is when the ball actually falls, and I did not even see the ball go into the hole. And I remember it till date. I can relive it. And I mean, no. So the guys behind had to make an eagle to force a playoff. I was lucky nobody did.
And how did you celebrate that evening?
Jyoti came running onto the green, I remember. And his words were, "You paid your dues, Diggy. You paid your dues." I remember that. And so just, went back home, and I don't remember how we celebrated. I have no idea. I think we just sat around, and there was nothing special. Just, went back onto the golf course the next day. So yeah.
So now skydiving. That's an amazing passion, soon to become profession. I don't know what it is, but you've got a skydiving company as well.
Yes.
How did skydiving come about? Tell us about your first encounter with it and your first jump.
So I was lucky. This guy called Vikrant Chopra, also a professional golfer. He knew somebody who knew somebody in the naval skydiving team, with the Indian naval skydiving team, and they were having a camp in Hisar for their own people, for their own naval personnel.
Okay.
And being a civilian, I cannot jump out of a army aircraft or a defense forces aircraft. And this camp of theirs was organized, and they were hiring a civil air effort. So the air effort belonged to the Patiala Flying Club. And so I landed up there, and these guys, the gentleman called Rajesh Nandagopalan and Mahesh Birajdar, both lieutenant commanders. So they said, listen, we have no problem in imparting knowledge. You can use our parachutes. We'll help you. We'll teach you. We'll help you skydive. You take care of your expenses with the pilot. You settle your hiring of the aircraft bit, and we'll impart knowledge. I said, can't be anything better than that. So I remember my first jump. When I got up there, I'm thinking, when we are getting to the jump run is when you that last bit, when you start crawling out, and the instructor behind you tells, okay, pats you on your shoulder and says, okay, it's time to go. And I'm thinking,
but you're strapped to somebody, right?
No. I don't have a single tandem jump. Every single jump of mine is individual, all solos so far. Not a single tandem jump. No, I didn't.
Including the first?
Yeah, including first. So that's called a static line jump, where you don't manually open the parachute, but the parachute is attached with a carabiner inside the carabiner is attached inside the aircraft, and it is attached to your pull cord. So the moment you jump out, it pulls the cord, and your parachute gets deployed. But you have to land the parachute on your own. So that's what the training on the ground is for.
Okay.
In this sport, there are no accidents up in the air, because you're falling, right? You're not hitting yourself against anything, but the accidents happen when you land. So if you get the landing bit right, there are no accidents. I mean, I think it is the safest extreme sport, I would say. And so when we were coming to the jump run, my first jump ever, and I started thinking to myself, Diggy, what's wrong with you here? Tu pagal ho gaya? Tu kya kar rahe hai? What are you doing? I was 4,000 feet up in the air. I mean, everything looked so small from there. I said, what is wrong with you, you idiot? But luckily, Rajesh didn't give me any time to think. And he says, okay, come on, time to go. Because if you miss that spot, then the aircraft has to do another turn and has to come back again, right?
So more fuel and stuff, yeah.
So there was no time to actually think so much and start fearing the outcome or whatever. So, and the entire routine and the entire training that I've gone through, that you have to, the moment you jump out, you got to shout 1,000, 2,000, 3,000. Then you look up and the parachute is open. Then you have to, look at it and you say, okay, stable opening, square parachute. So, those things, but everything went out of the window. The moment I jumped out, I've forgotten everything, I tell you. And when the parachute opened, it was like, oh, damn, man, it's open. Thank God it's open. So, because it's the fear of the unknown.
Sorry, you're probably the only man who looked up after jumping. Huh?
No, you always look up, because you always look up, because you always have to look up and see whether the parachute is fully deployed or not. Okay. And we were also trained. There was a good 3-4 day training where they tell you there are emergencies that can happen. Maybe it doesn't open the way it is supposed to. Then you're supposed to follow a procedure. You have to cut this away and you deploy the second parachute. For that, your body has to be in a particular position and all that. But believe you me, nothing. You just pull a cord and it automatically cuts off. So there's an automated device inside which cuts it off. So you don't physically cut it off. You just pull a device. You just pull a ring. There's a ring. You just pull it and it comes off.
Mhm.
So yeah, I mean, you were flying in the air. You felt like a bird. You could go left. You could go right. I said, my God, what a great sport! That was fantastic. So that was back in 2008, October
Uh-huh.
2008. 31st of October 2008 to be exact. And
And,
then I was going to play in April of the year after that, 2009. I was going to play in Seoul at the Valentine
Mhm.
Championship, and then Jyoti said, "Listen, why don't we go to America and get our A licenses?" So we went to Seoul, and from Seoul we went all the way around to LA, and then from LA to uh, North Carolina, and we were there. We got our 25 jumps each, got our A licenses, came back,
Mhm.
then went again in 2011, got our B licenses, and so here we are. I mean, when I came back in 2009, then now it's a new passion now altogether. Bought parachutes, and now we need
Mhm.
a place to jump. So we went down to a flying club in Sagar, Chimes
Mhm.
Aviation Academy, I think it is called CAA, and we hired an aircraft there, and we did a few jumps in Sagar, and then there was no
Mhm.
looking back. So, yeah.
What about your skydiving company, the one that
Oh,
you
so yeah,
started?
I came across another crazy skydiver, I would say, a guy called Rudra Bhanu Solanki, and he
Mhm.
had been running a skydiving company for since 2013, but it
Mhm.
hadn't really taken off, and he was also looking for somebody equally mad to start something like this, and
Mhm.
we met through a common friend, and he says, I really want to pursue this in India, and I want this sport to grow in India. And I said, well, I've been wanting to do this for a long time now. I wanted some kind of a shoulder that I could rely upon and take this forward. Already had Jyoti had two parachutes of his own. I had one, and then we bought another one. So we had
Mhm.
five parachutes actually. I said, listen, I have the inventory. Let's start off. So that's how this came
Mhm.
about. And so Sky High India already
Mhm.
existed, but
Okay.
I think together both of us gave it wings, and we've
Mhm.
had two very successful seasons. We're going to start again
Mhm.
September onwards now. Looking forward to
Mhm.
our third season, and we operate not too far away from Delhi. I mean, we are about 150, 125 kilometers from the international airport,
Okay.
southwest of Delhi, place called Narnaul in Haryana.
Okay.
That's where
Okay.
we are. Yeah.
Oh, that's great. So, haven't you ever thought of your sister is a Bollywood actress, very famous actress, and a very good actress at that? Haven't you ever thought of a career there? I mean, didn't it ever occur to you?
Not even close. No, never. No,
No.
no, no, never, never, never. No, there are too many things to be done there. No, I can't. I mean, you
Yeah.
gotta.
So the
No, that's not for me.
so, so
One is
the
good
two
enough.
Chitras in your life, the two Chitras in your life, one is
Yeah.
your sister who's an actress, the other Chitra is your wife who's a politician. What about politics? Do you think
That
you have a future there sometime?
that just happened by chance, huh? The two Chitras. A lot of people have
I
asked me,
know.
"Oh, so did she change her name?" I said, "Why would she change her name?" So it just
Mm-hmm.
happened by chance. No, I don't think I'm made for politics. My ideas are very black or white, and
Mm-hmm.
that doesn't work in politics at all. And
Okay.
Chitra is really cut out for it. It's in her blood. Her
Mm-hmm.
father being a politician himself, although she went to NID in Ahmedabad. She's a
Okay.
furniture designer, and
Mm-hmm.
but she's worked with a corporate from Bangalore. But
Mm-hmm.
politics was always her calling, and I think she
Okay.
does a great job of it. She
Mm.
she is a very people's person. I mean,
Okay.
so much so that she stays in Ambala now, and I stay here in Gurgaon, and
Mm.
we probably meet once in a month. If I mean, at a very good rate, once in a month, maybe
Mm.
once in 2 months. But
Mm.
I've noticed the kind of commitment that she shows to her work.
Mm-hmm.
She's ready to put everything aside and just concentrate on her work. I mean,
Okay.
she's for her right now is only kids and her politics, and that's
Mm-hmm.
it. So,
So
yeah,
you've got
but
two kids,
politics is
right?
not for me. Yeah, I've got two kids.
Yeah. Okay.
So
What are the names?
Amira is 8 years old, and
Okay.
Yudhvir is 4. So yeah,
Wow.
2 kids.
So Yudhvir is going to become a professional golfer, a skydiver.
I don't know. I mean,
hopefully
whatever
not a
he wants
cricketer.
to, whatever he wants to. Really, I mean, that's absolutely up to him. See, as parents, I think the best we can do is provide. That's all. I mean, घोड़े को पानी तक ले आ सकते हो, पर ये घोड़े की मर्जी है
That's the
कि
best way to do it also.
Yeah, I mean, you should not try and live your dreams through your kids. Let the kid have his own and live his dreams.
Do what he has. Yeah. So, what does the future hold for Digvijay Singh, the golfer?
I think I will always be somehow or the other involved with the sport. We have a foundation called the Ultimate Foundation, where we, when I say we, Jyoti is part of it, and Sandeep Verma and Preetam Saikia, who's also my coach. So we do a lot of work with kids from lesser privileged backgrounds or underprivileged backgrounds. There are a couple of foundations. We get kids from Bagia is one, Neve is another one, and HIV positive kids is who we are working with in Jaipur with a foundation called RAISE, because this is the only sport which is a non-contact sport, and even if a kid is HIV positive, it doesn't matter. So I'll always be attached to the sport in one way or the other. I am still playing, although these young kids are really taking our task, but I'm still playing, and I think I'm going to continue playing till I can't. So
that's nice.
That will definitely carry on, and but I'll always be involved with the foundation at any and every level, literally.
Okay. What is the future of Indian golf?
Getting better year on year, with the likes of Shubhankar and Anirban and so many of these kids, Rashid Khan. See, the names are not coming to me. We haven't been playing enough golf in the last couple of months. So, there are so many kids who are far more talented than we were ever, really. 19-year-old Kshitij Kaul, Aman Raj, there's so many of them. I think it all boils down to experiences. The younger you start, the more experience you'll get at an early age. And plus, nowadays, information is available at a far earlier age than what it used to be earlier. Back in the days, there was no internet. You could not really look for quick fixes. Although there are no quick fixes still, but you at least have a fix, Earlier, I mean, if somebody went to England or went to America and came back with one of those golf digests, that golf digest would be photostated 10 times and would be distributed amongst people. People, read through them and try and emulate what Nicholas is trying to talk about or what Nick Faldo was trying to talk about. Today is very different. Information is available on the push of a button. If you can hire a coach sitting in India, you can hire a coach in America, and he can give you Skype lessons.
Exactly.
I mean, exactly the way you and I are talking. So I think that is the key. Information is the key. So the right information at the right time is what it takes. And also, earlier the saying used to be practice makes perfect, but I completely disagree with that. I don't. Correct practice makes it perfect. Because if you if you just keep beating balls all day long and you don't know the exact science behind the sport, you're not going to succeed at all. You will falter at some stage. So it's all geometry, angles and algebra and geometry. So
yeah. Any piece of advice you have to give to a youngster, what would it be?
Number one is play the sport because you want to play the sport and not because your parents want you to play the sport. That's number one. And the day you start loving being out there and playing the sport, believe me, sky's the limit. Because everything will fall into place when you love the sport. Everything falls into place. If you just play it for the heck of, just for the heck of it, then you're not getting anywhere. You'd just be a club golfer and, you just hack around. You want to be out, get out of home and get out of work for 4 hours. That's what you'll be doing. But if you start loving the sport, believe me, everything falls into place. You will find ways to win. You will find them, and those ways will find you.
Brilliant. That's great, Diggy. It's been a wonderful experience chatting with you. Thank you so much, and really looking forward to seeing you soon and playing some golf with you maybe someday if you want to ruin your golf swing.
No, don't worry about that. I won't. In fact, I'll try and improve yours.
Oh, that'll be great. Thanks so much, Diggy.
Thanks a lot, Akhil. Bye.